Well, the greatest Michigan basketball team in history certainly that got erased last night. They're still really good, but great teams don't lose by 30 at home. And they only lost by 23, but it should have been a 40-point game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was it's been so long. Well, they did have that game at Minnesota, but besides that, it's been so long since we've seen them play so badly that it's hard to know what to make of it. You know what I mean? Like, if you can chalk it up. I mean, Illinois is really good. Sure, they were without AO, but for a game or two, sometimes teams rise up and dig deeper, and they were thoroughly inspired. And Brad Underwood, the Illinois coach, I think he whipped them into a pretty good froth because he's been stewing about
the postponement.
Teams not playing 20 games, and maybe we're the best team, and he said he wasn't specifically talking about Michigan, but of course he was because they're not going to play 20 games in the Big Ten. And Michigan looked slow, listless, kind of inexplicable when they could have clinched the Big Ten last night. So I'm somewhat confused. I won't say I'm alarmed for Michigan, but I am somewhat confused how that happened last night.
And a lot of it will be determined how we take this game as how Michigan handles the next two games against Michigan State and how they respond on Thursday night. But is it possible that this is just a big game or big week hangover after having beaten Ohio State in Columbus, Iowa at home? Could this just be they were tired, wasn't their day, move on?
It could be for sure, John, and I'm certain that's what Michigan fans are hoping. And deep down, I think even Juwan Howard probably thinks that he was pretty disappointed after the game, but he wasn't angry, fuming. And you see this more and more during this strange season. Even after some of those bad losses that Michigan State had, Izzo wasn't going bonkers and stuff. I think everybody understands it's weird and weird things happen. The only thing that, and I do agree with you, it helps them, I think, that they're playing their rival next for 2 games. They'll, I would assume, be immediately back up. The one thing that I would find a little concerning is that, and I know Illinois is good, but Michigan just looked not just out quick, but kind of out athletic. Yeah, that too.
And Illinois didn't even have Io.
Right. And when you watch Baylor before that, the run down the floor like crazy. You sit there and say, yeah. And the fact that look, he wasn't playing well, but I think he made a mistake, Juwan, by taking Mike Smith out of the game as early as he did in the first half, only playing 11 minutes. Look, they probably still wouldn't have won the game, but he's the one guy who can, actually penetrate a little bit when there's not a lot of space there. And do you worry that the formula was set by Illinois of just funneling Michigan's offense into their big guy, which was Coburn in this case? But the fact most teams don't have a guy like Coburn, so they can't do that.
I don't think the problem last night for Michigan was Illinois' offense. It was Illinois' defense.
Mm-hmm.
And
right. That's what I'm saying. They're funneling Michigan's offense towards Coburn.
Oh, right. Gotcha. Right, too. And, well, here's the thing. You did see, and not many people have a guy like Coburn, just like not many people have a guy like Dickinson. And you did see if you can play Hunter Dickinson straight up one-on-one and muck it up inside, they can, and he's a freshman, so of course he was due to struggle, and he struggled badly last night for sure. But Michigan couldn't get anything open on the 3-point line because they were hawking it because Dickinson wasn't dominating inside like he has done before. That there is a bit of a blueprint, and I have a feeling when he goes back and watches the tape, Tom Izzo will enjoy watching that tape. But I would also caution against the whole recency bias, and because I catch myself doing me even as a seasoned journalist. I've been in the business for upwards of 5 to 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
I even caught myself watching that, going, wait, let's not make rash proclamations. They didn't look quite as that. Franz Wagner really looked. I would almost, not assertive, almost weak as far as physically going after people, getting knocked off the ball. Again, one game, and Illinois came loaded for bear.
How far can Aaron Henry take the Spartans? Because he was just a man last night when they needed it.
He was. Oh, my goodness, down the stretch, he was. And talking or listening to Izzo and others afterwards, and some people were making the comparison, taking over down the stretch, it was McKean Cleaves-ish-esque. And I wouldn't go that far, but certainly some of even just ugly shots dropping or just nothing's happening. Gets down to the final 8 seconds of the shot clock. Aaron Henry creates something, and he did. And he's done a great job lately of getting into the lane, not forcing a shot, take just, the jump stop and put it up. And he's got a soft touch, and the ball has been dropping in. Again, me, finding myself not trying to overreact to a game. You do wonder how much more he has left as far as that whole team, as far as, and another quick turnaround. We'll see. I mean, it's going to be fascinating. All of a sudden, not only is Michigan State's NCAA tournament hopes on the line, but so are Michigan's Big Ten hopes on the line.
For those of us in the state of Michigan, whether you're a Wolverine or a Spartan, is this not the greatest 4 days or the greatest way to end a basketball season that we've ever seen?
Yeah, I guess it would be. I'm just concerned that, because we've seen a little bit of it, I'm just concerned it's going to be maybe ugly basketball. With both, but again, it's happening all over the country. But
yeah,
both teams wheezing to the finish a little bit. You know what I mean? And you say, well, come on, a rivalry game, they'll get. Well, yeah, they will, but there's only a day in between. I don't want to harp on that because I hate hearing as soon as every team loses. Anybody, it's like, everybody was tired and there's nothing you can do, and I don't want to hear that necessarily from Michigan or Michigan State. But there is a reality to it, Mm-hmm. I kind of wish they were just playing once on like Sunday.
And you wish Michigan State was playing. Look, they've won 3 of their last 4, but you wish Michigan State was playing much better basketball. It'd be a more of an exciting game, better atmosphere. But it could be a really ugly watch, no matter who wins the game. Now,